I do believe, wholeheartedly.
Why? Why do you think he must know more?
Why not?
I've been on this tight rope between sanity and falling off the deep end.
It's been a year since the mobilizing power of a conspiracy theory nearly brought the US to its knees.
I would love a physical battle, but I know
Who
what
are you
I'm
going to be
seeing.
fighting?
Elites or whatever, yes, please.
In 2020, I reported on the dramatic rise of interest in QAnon during the pandemic.
Sacrifices, children babies being sacrificed.
A year on from the attack on Capitol Hill that the movement played such an important part in, I wanted to find out if people are still held firmly in its grip.
The sentencing of the shaman is moments away. And like any good show, stay seated.
The people who attacked Capitol Hill weren't all QAnon followers, but the movement was a rallying force for that day. And it's a QAnon believer, Jacob Chansley, or the QAnon shaman, who's become the face of January 6th. Jacob was arrested and pled guilty to obstruction of Congress. I was in Washington, D.C. to meet with Albert Watkins, his lawyer.
From the first moment that I spoke with him, it became really clear that this was a kid who was he was an underdog of monumental proportions.
When Jacob was in the military at 19, he was diagnosed with a mental health disorder that the military kept from him. Albert says that left Jacob searching for something.
There are a lot of people who have mental health problems, but they don't storm the Capitol building.
You're right. There are not many who have mental health vulnerabilities that were diagnosed in 2006, but didn't have it told to them. It's about Jake. It's not about the shaman.
But what is it that Jacob got wrapped up in? QAnon followers believe that a cabal of Satan-worshipping paedophiles run the government and media, and that they traffic children for satanic rituals. They claim that a group of military officials, together with Donald Trump, are fighting back. A survey by the polling organisation Ipsos, seen exclusively by the BBC, found that 7% of Americans still believe that this is true. That's down from 17% last year, but it's still 22 million people. While I was in the US, I wanted to catch up with Nick Natoli, because back in 2020, I met Nick on the internet.
The pandemic wasn't real, and the race war isn't real.
Why are you here? If there's no left of my country, you're not even from here.
And he had some pretty controversial views.
I first started speaking to Nick about 18 months ago, at the very beginning of the pandemic. But speaking to him over the past few weeks, it seems like his opinion has changed. When everything unfolded on January 6th, what were you thinking?
I'm so embarrassed to be a part of this group right now. Get us off national television. What are we doing? Is that the Capitol? Is that a shaman?
Things have changed with you, I think, a bit.
I don't want to believe in some of these nefarious, terrible things. The information that I've researched has led me there. So when the information that I've researched has not led me to there, and President Trump is not the president, and Joe Biden's our president, then yeah, I'm going to be a realist and say that this isn't what I thought was going to happen. You know, a lot of people were supposed to get arrested. That didn't happen.
Recently, Nick hasn't been consuming as much QAnon content because it's been banned from a lot of mainstream social media, but it's migrated to less popular platforms. I've been in touch with a lot of different QAnon followers, mostly through the messaging app Telegram. Many of them were hostile, and I was blocked from the app after some complaints. But some were really friendly and obliging, keen to help me understand the gravity of what it is they think is going on in the world.
The Alliance has gotten rid of the dark entities that were with our government.
Sacrifices, babies being sacrificed.
Do your family know about it?
No, I can't let them know.
I received hundreds of messages links and videos, evidence, they said, of the conspiracy.
Fellow truth seekers.
It looks to me like a portal opened.
More than once, someone agreed to meet in person, and at the last minute, they backed out.
They seem so willing and open to talk to us and to share all this stuff that they think is so important. And then I'm just afraid that we're going to twist their words.
All except Kim. Kim is a dog groomer living in LA. She got into QAnon just over a year ago, as many other people were starting to have doubts.
I've always been one for the underdog. Even when I was a kid, I was really an odd child. I'm a deep thinker.
What is it that you think is going on in the world right now?
What is going on? It's not think. It's out in our faces. What is going on? The elites. We've been suppressed. We've been lied to all of our lives. And now our eyes are open. We're taking our country back. We're going back to a republic. Facts, only facts. Suez Canal. Remember that? It was deliberately knocked into that and lodged in there. Because what was on it? Thousands and thousands of children and women, the sex trafficking, and adrenochrome. And also those vaccines.
This might be hard to follow, but it's QAnon 101. Everything that happens, every story in the news, gets linked to the cabal. Nothing is as it seems, because they believe everyone is lying to you.
We're probably going to have to save ourselves. And they're going to push us too far. The calm before the storm, it's like, again, you don't tell the enemy.
Do you think people will take up arms?
Oh, we're going
again?
to. And I'm looking forward to that. That is our constitutional right. I would love a physical battle. But I know
Who
what
are
I'm
you going to
seeing.
be fighting?
Elites or whatever, or the UN, the supposed UN, yes, please. Mainstream media, all complacent. They admitted it. It's never changed.
That's us. So
yeah, again, I don't, honey, you just work for them. I call you an innocent, and you're a baby too. I will be there to defend you.
I heard this from other QAnon believers. Because this is a movement working to convince people that we're at war. As we spent time together, Nick and I sat down to watch some videos from a QAnon conference in Las Vegas.
Oh my God, Jim Caviezel was there?
From the slavery that sin makes out of all of us.
The actor has been open about his belief in the conspiracy.
That's what this is about. I'll be honest with you, right now in this fucking moment, Stephanie, I do believe, wholeheartedly.
Why? Why do you think he must know more?
Why not? Why not? He's been places I haven't been. He's met people I don't know. He's probably in contact with a lot of military people who know about this military operation.
Why would you think that?
Why would he be here?
For the same reason that you would be there if you were a famous actor and it would be useful for them to get you in as a speaker.
He is no longer going to be cast in any Hollywood movies. People think he's absolutely insane.
But this energized Nick. And here was a glimpse into just how easily he could slip back into all of this. He could get pulled back in to all of it.
Hold up. I want to stop you.
In the words of Spock, it's only logical.
An update on that breaking news we told you about just moments ago.
Jacob Chansley, the self-proclaimed QAnon shaman, is going to now spend more than 3 years in prison.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for talking to us today.
I'm fun, but not that much fun. Thank you all.
Jacob Chansley was just sentenced to 41 months, minus the 10 months he's already been in jail. It seemed like the judge was really receptive to his plea. He spoke to him for a long time about how remorseful he was, how much he'd been punished already. Seems like the judge took it on board.
Jacob spoke at length about his abusive childhood and his mental health problems. He painted a picture of someone who was vulnerable, but full of remorse for what he'd done. He said he just wanted to get better. He didn't speak about QAnon. I caught up with Albert again later that day to find out what role he thought QAnon would play in Jacob's life now.
Do you think he's left it behind completely?
Well, the excitement that he has, knowing now the answer to his question is so elevated.
About his mental health?
That all he wants is to start that process of being helped and getting the help he needs.
Despite what Albert says, I wasn't sure that QAnon is something that Jacob can leave behind that easily.
An incarcerated individual at Alexandria Detention Center.
A few weeks after his sentencing, Jacob decided to appeal. He fired Albert and started doing interviews with right-wing media.
You know, a secret society within the United States would be the individuals that attend satanic rituals. People are waking up and they are seeing that, you know what, there's something else going on here with this whole COVID 1984 agenda.
He was starting to sound like the QAnon shaman again. It's clear that leaving QAnon is hard. Because these are people that have been led to doubt everything. And that doubt is a powerful force. And it's waiting in the wings.